So for those that are not on tonight, this is the second call that we've done for the 90-day run. And I started previously without recording it, so apologies for that. But what we're going to do is go through, we're going to set some goals tonight ready for next week to check in with. And first of all, we'll start just by going around the group and getting a little bit of feedback as to, to what things have worked for you guys this week, what things that you've found frustrating this week, any wins, any losses, any highs, lows, and any victories that you've had. So Alina, we'll start with you just because I can see you first. So if you just want to let everybody know like how your week's gone, what you've achieved, what you found to be good, what you've struggled with, and literally just like a minute or two, just so we can kick this call off really.
Okay. I've created I missed the call last week because I was at work with our stock takes. So I've created my list, and I've put down all the contacts that they have on the list. I've realized that I need to follow up with lots of people, and just working away on my list of the contacts of the last call of all the contacts that I need to reach out to. So I haven't signed on to anyone up this week, unfortunately, but looking into the Canadian market as we grow and expand, and looking at my contact list here in the UK and expanding on that. So.
Perfect. Did you get a chance to watch back the call from last week, so you kind of know where we're at?
Yes, it was really good. I'm really unfortunate. Unfortunately, I missed it because I was at work last week. But it was really good because just the way that you expanded upon the creating your list and sort of writing down the names has been quite challenging. But then how you approached it with like people from different industries was quite key.
Yeah,
so. And thinking about not just people that are in your direct circle, but also people that are sort of out of your direct network was quite key. Yeah,
definitely. Perfect. Brilliant. Thank you. And great stuff for getting on. Okay. Next up, Andrew and Shirley.
Hi.
Good evening. How are we doing?
Good, thanks. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clearly. I said at the beginning that I'm sitting in my niece's bedroom tonight, hence why there's a kind of like pink and purple castle there.
I thought it was your new taste in decor.
No, my one's blue.
Right, we have been giving the old Shaper a bit of a battering.
Okay.
And we've got 2 people on the call tomorrow night.
Fantastic.
From that, and Shirley has been chasing up some of her contacts, and she's booked a wine tasting in the offices of a national property developing company.
Nice.
So yeah,
that should be good. It's July.
Brilliant.
But, they own a lot of property all over the UK, actually, office.
Leeds, so Manchester, Liverpool, Birmingham, etc.
Let me know the date on that, and if I can get up, then I will do. And if you lead any wine, let me know as well. So yeah, let me know what the date is, and if it works for me, then I'll come up.
Should be confirmed this week. I think they're looking at round about the 26th of July, somewhere the end of July anyway.
Okay, so perfect.
Confirmed this week with a bit of luck.
Perfect.
So that was a really good positive. Still working on the list, that we talked about last week. I think some of that's actually has been quite difficult adding names into some of those categories.
Yes.
Yeah, but no, really working on it. And the plan for next week is I've already got quite a lot of links on LinkedIn, so definitely use the letter that you've been doing to them. I think that would be really good.
Yeah, I mean, I just sat there on Friday, I think it was. Was it Friday or Saturday? I can't remember. No, it must have been Friday because it was out all day yesterday. And I just literally went to my connections on my network on LinkedIn, and a few of them I've spoken to like previously before, but I just popped it in there. And as I said, the results that I got back were for me, they was very positive. You know, there was people coming back saying, you know, we're not wine drinkers, we don't drink alcohol. I've got a lot of fitness connections on there. But then I had a couple of people come back and say, this sounds really interesting. I'm going to pin this message and I'm going to come back to it. And there was quite a few people that came back and said, yeah, I do drink wine, you know, send me some information over. So I think the thing with LinkedIn compared to Facebook, it's a lot more professional in terms of networking, in terms of business. So where Facebook, you'll probably get a lot of people that just don't respond. With LinkedIn, there'll be somewhere down the line that person will come back at you for something, or they'll want to approach you with something. And I think that they'll think that if they don't respond in some way, then they're going to get the same back from you. So, you know, LinkedIn's very, very good. And again, I posted that 107 different ways to improve your LinkedIn account from a lady that I know from a previous network, and I went through that and I made quite a few changes, and I've seen like so much more traction come through my profile. But one of the interesting things is that a lot of people think that LinkedIn is only for business, but this lady said treat it similar to Facebook. So, you know, if you're out for a day out, put it on there. If you're having a glass of wine, put it on there. If you're, you know, use it exactly the same. They're not different in any way. So, you know, I post quotes on there now. I post, I think I posted something on there this afternoon, like about having a beer or a barbecue or whatever else, and about the sunshine, because it's exactly the same. It's just a different platform.
Okay.
So, you know, I'll go through that in a little bit more depth over the course of the 90 days, because I do think LinkedIn is going to be good for us, because the majority of people just use Facebook, or the majority of people are very heavily into Facebook. And something I'll share later on is from what another lady from another team has been doing with Instagram. So I'll share that later on as well. But no, great stuff. Yeah, brilliant. As I said, if I can get up on that July, then I will do. I should be able to anyway. Okay. Next up, we are going to go to Sian Hinner PJs.
Sorry, I've had a barbecue all day and I've eaten too much and I just need loose clothing. So I'm honest. So it's been quite a good week. Like Shirley was saying, the list I found quite hard to match people to, but I've not sort of stressed out about it, because there's some categories where I've got more than 5 names, so I've just focused on let's try and get to the 55 however I can, even if it doesn't fill every category. So I've been sort of reconnecting with friends and just sort of having general conversations, natural conversations, how you doing, blah blah blah, what you're up to, and then that's been reciprocated. So then I've been able to say new job, and I'm, you know, building my wine business, and sort of introduce it in that way, and that's worked quite positively. A few have made some interesting comments, which I'm going to keep following up on, and hopefully either get them on an opportunity call or something. Some have said, you know, it's not for me, but I will start sharing your posts that you put on Facebook, because I was finding that most of my Facebook posts are liked by all of us in the group and a couple of my friends, and I knew they were all looking at them. I was like, just, even if you're not going to do anything with me, just share my posts, so at least your networks are seeing it. So a couple of them are doing that, which is brilliant. And then I've started to be more active on Instagram as well. And actually, when people like a post I put up, I'll respond to them and thank them for liking that post. And it might take a little bit of time. Sometimes it's just copy and paste. Sometimes I sort of tailor my answer a bit if I know a bit more about them. So starting some very limited, but at least starting some conversations on that platform. So that's something I want to continue, and then definitely find out about using something LinkedIn. So I'm going to look at that document that you sent around, because I remember you sending that a while ago, and I started doing some of the things that were recommended. So I just need to revisit that, definitely. So that would be cool.
Yeah, perfect. So I mean, with regards to the list that we built last week, if you've got more people in a certain category than others, then just use it, and don't just stop on like the 55. So if I don't know, where was we? I'm trying to find the list that we went through. But if you say 10 people that work in the fitness industry, for example, rather than 5, then speak to those 10 people. It doesn't always have to be the same. It doesn't just have to be the 5. So where are we? Yeah. So Love Social Life, for example. Most people out there will know more than 5 people that love to socialise. Just list. So the name of the game is like to create as many lists as we possibly can, and to get as many numbers on that list as we possibly can, to then phone them up or send them a message and ask them, are they open to having a look at, your wine club. And I've got some scripts as well that Ray Higdon used at Las Vegas last year at the very first event, and they was directed for direct sellers. So it's to do with warm market, hot market, cold market. So I'll put those in the group as well, and they could help you out, because a lot of people don't know what to say to people or how to get a conversation started with people. So these are great conversations that you can have. And as I said, I'll get all those up. There's a ton of stuff that I've got planned for you guys over the 90 days that, I'm working on it and getting everything done. So perfect. Go on.
It was good having those reconnecting with people, because I think I was worried about contacting my friends because I was having radio silence. When I was just approaching them normally just for a conversation, rather than putting on the whole pressure of I've got to get the wine in quickly, which is what I was doing before.
Yeah.
It was actually just, very natural, just having that conversation, and then naturally the wine business came up. So that's something I've definitely learned and given me more confidence about approaching friends again.
Perfect. Brilliant. Okay. Next, we will go to Beverly.
Hi, yes. Didn't have a very productive week. Just work got in the way because it was month end for me with in my business. However, I've joined Foray Network, as I say, which I had been approached, and been networking across different groups, and just from that, having quite positive conversations through that. But just coming back to what you were saying is having the right message, getting the conversation going, and just asking the right questions. But I have made connection with quite a few groups and obviously offers people, where one of the ladies which I met on Thursday, it's a big finance group, and they do offer socials, and we spoke about having a wine social for them. So that's one thing sort of penciled in for the time being. Other than that, not been very, very productive over the past week, unfortunately.
No, that's cool.
But, got things planned. As I say, it's just chipping away slowly, really, on my side at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, one thing about network marketing is it's not an overnight success. It's not it's not a quick fix. It's just doing what you can in the pockets of time that you've got available. And this always comes second to like a full-time job. This should always come second to your health. But it's just plugging away, doing what you can, getting on the calls, looking at information, sending messages in the little pockets of the times that you have as well. And just basically doing what you can, but know that we're all here to help and support each other. You've got fantastic upline in Becky as well, that she's always there. So anything that that Becky or myself can do for you with regards to three-way calls or following up with people that you can't do because you're in a full-time position, you know, feel free to reach out. If you said to me, look, Paul, I've got like 3 or 4 people that I've spoken to via text message or email or whatever else, they want a phone call, but they're only available at these times and this is when I'm at work. Can you help? Yeah, of course I can. You know, so don't feel that you can only speak to your people in the times that you've got, because then you're going to, you know, really close out the amount of the availability that you've got. So, you know, I'm here pretty much 24/7 to help you and to help the rest of the team with three-way calls or following up or anything else like that.
Yes, well, I'll definitely make use of that, because at the moment my business is such that I literally work, well, sometimes 12, 16-hour days, which makes the time in between pretty short. However, I mean, with planning, I suppose it could be done. I've also just got to learn and be confident and come out, and because I speak to so many people, my business is contractor accommodation, so I speak to hundreds of contractors throughout the month and the day, so I've got to really get my it's just getting my act together and being confident. It's also just a very fine line for me. I don't want to sort of be the one, you know, pushing something else when I'm meeting them. It's just building up rapport, really, which takes it happens quite quickly, because the generalist, but it's just using all the avenues, really.
Yeah, and that's what this
finding the timing of having that conversation.
Yeah, and that's what this group's been set up for, really, is to help you guys utilize the various social media platforms and to help you guys with like posture and confidence and how to create a conversation with like a warm market, hot market, cold market. So, I mean, you know, this is just the beginning. We're on day 7 today of 90. And even then, the day 90 is just a springboard for what we're going to go out and do after that. So, you know, don't worry about what you can't do, but as long as you know, stick to it and you believe in yourself and you believe in the company and you believe in, you know, what we're doing with direct sellers, then you're going to get somewhere. So, you know, again, you know, I know like you're busy, so I appreciate you getting on and jumping on tonight. So thank you. Next up, we will go to Zoe.
Hi.
Hi.
I've got rid of the video. No, it's been fairly sort of productive. I mean, Horsham, I'm just waiting for them to get back to me because obviously they're up to their eyes in it this weekend, being bank holiday. They're absolutely chocker, which is good for them. But I've been there most days anyway, so I'm just managing to speak to people there that have got to know me just through my daughter working there. Shape has been quite good. Lists have been good in some ways, not so good in the other. I've sort of blocked quite a few people that I did put on my list purely because I thought, why are they even on my list? But then I've extended them on others as well. So, and I've had quite a few people sort of make contact with me rather than the other way around, which has been good. So yeah, so that's about it really. So
yeah, I spoke to a few people as well. I think it was the Australians. I spoke to them about Shaper and said that Shaper is like something we've got to do every day. You know, if you're going to use Shaper, use it every single day, because if you just flick in and flick out and do the odd day here and there, it's going to take so much time. And when I got to Watford yesterday for the football, because I was in a new location, that's when I'd done my swipes. So it opened up a whole new load. And then I woke up this morning, I had like 13 messages from people. So I just spent a little bit of time this morning. And I guess my initial message to someone is, hi, such and such, great to connect with you on here. And then depending on what day of the week it is, I'll either say to them, hope you've had a great weekend. What's this week got in store for you? Or hope your week's been productive. Are you looking forward to the weekend? And always leave it with them to come back with something, because if they don't, you know, they don't. But rather than just saying something like, hope, you know, great to connect with you on here, they may come back to you and just say like, thanks. Yeah, or you too. So always leave that with a question for them to come back to you with. So yeah, Shaper's starting to work for me at the moment. I had a great call with a couple of guys actually on Thursday or Friday, that are involved in wine themselves and actually deal with Pacelli wines. Like Andrea Pacelli's got his own wine, and we're trying to get a call set up with these guys and Kevin to try and get Bocelli wines into direct sellers. So, you know, that's an exclusive for you guys, and I'll keep you posted with that one. So, good job. Okie dokie. Next, we will go to Mr. Brady. I can't unmute. Carl, you're going to have to unmute yourself if you're there, mate. There you go.
Sorted.
There you go.
How's everyone?
Great.
I realise it's quite dim. I'm not sitting in the dark. I'm just enjoying how the day's been, actually.
How did your social go?
It's a week. I had a wine social last night. That went relatively well. And again, another learning experience. I've got one chap who actually wants to order a case of wine. I know that's not really an option. So what I'm going to do instead, I'm going to sign him up as a customer. He's going to be intermittent. But actually ensure he has the same wines in the case every time he orders. Because at least that way there's VIP and other options to explore there. As far as I'm aware, there's no option for customers to buy just cases on their own, is there currently?
Yeah, they can. What wine was it, out of curiosity?
He liked the Pacciato.
What a surprise.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I would definitely get him in as a customer, get him in on the VIP program, let him know that he can get £25 off of case reorders every single month, but then just emphasise the, you know, what else you get involved with the club as well. Because if he likes that one, then there's no reason why he's not going to like another wine next month or the month after or the month after that. And, you know, listening to Kevin's calls this week and the amount of people that have got free wine, and listening to the call last night, like one of my customers ended up winning a free case, and then one of Razzy's, one of Ben's, one of Denny's, and one of Carla and Greg's as well won a free case of wine just for being a VIP customer. So we never know when the company's going to throw in these extra incentives on top of what they're giving within the VIP program. So, you know, my thinking with him, to go back to him, is just to say to him, right, we'll get you in as a VIP customer. We'll get you a case of, you know, the Bacciato order that you can get £25 off for being a VIP customer. But let's look at the other things that you can benefit, as well as receiving like free wine as well. So yeah, definitely with that. But again, anything that, you know, I can do to help with that, speaking to him or whatever else you need me to do, then just let me know.
I mean, I've got quite a few wine socials potentially lined up. But again, it's coming back to that thing of, are people actually valuing what's free? I mean, they're too eager. And whilst it's great holding these kind of socials, I think there is a little voice in the back of my mind saying, actually, how much longer do you kind of push out for the free so long? And there's got to be more value in bringing in customers and then hosting wine socials that way. And say last night, couple of bites, got one lady, again, she said she would have to be ordering on and off. So she would sign up. She doesn't drink enough herself. And due to health reasons, her social life isn't as fast as it once was. So there's been a few people who ask that as well. But I've had so many people reach out and say, yeah, we're more than happy to have a wine social at ours. But it's more for the fact of, well, having free wine rather than actually kind of hoping to actually kind of purchase anything from there.
I would let them... Sorry, mate. I would let them come to 2 socials before then they'd have to become a customer.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, like you said, they're just going to take the piss. And, you know, why should we continue to supply the wine when all they want is a freebie out of it? So that would be my thinking of it, is, you know, you've been to one social, you want me to host one, that's great. I'll come and host that one, and then we'll get you in as a customer, and then I can come and do regular socials for you to help you get your customers for free. And even the lady that, you know, you just mentioned about intermittent and health reasons or whatever else, I guarantee you that if she's getting her wine for free, she won't switch it off. And then even if she can't drink it herself, she'll probably know someone that will drink it. And I know, like, we're not allowed to give wine away or gift wine away or whatever else. But if she's someone that doesn't drink a lot of wine, but her family do, her friends do, then there's no reason why, you know, she can't say, look, you know, try it. You know, we had one of our mates come around the other day, done a load of painting, gave him a bottle of wine, absolutely loved it. And again, funnily enough, it was the Bacciato. So
It seems to become a good favourite there. I mean, my list is well over 350 people now. Continuing expanding. I'm going back through the warm market. I think it's too easy to pursue the cold. That's kind of the comfortable zone. But if I'm going to grow this, it's got to be kind of through close friends, word of mouth, and trust.
yeah.
So I think this month could be set to be quite busy, but certainly next month's could be packed. So no, it's all coming together, which is fantastic.
Perfect. 2 to go, and then we'll crack on. So, Veronica, you are up next.
Hi, everyone. Okay, so I think my week went pretty good. I got over 300 new followers on Instagram. I've been trying to get more familiar with the back office, watching the videos. I've been doing my personal development twice a day. Next week I'll be for next week's call, I'll be tuning in from the air, so I might only be able to do a text if that's okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, because I'll be flying as a passenger, if that makes sense. My friend said she'll join up as a VIP customer, so I guess I'll ask you after this call, like which leg to put her on, because I mean she'll want wine every month.
Doesn't matter. Customers,
Yeah.
just get them in.
Okay. Paul, I guess we could talk about it this week. I will be in London, and I would love to do a wine social there, and then I'll put some in the book for here in New York. My list is about 800 at the moment. I've been plugging into the calls every week, so I've been really enjoying that. I really loved Raz's training the other day, and I joined a couple of new groups, and one of the groups I joined, I got over 100 likes and comments for just one picture that I posted, so that was good. I want to start doing the 3-way calls, and I guess now I just really need like scripts and the video to send, and just now starting to make the phone calls on my list. I've been focusing on New York, America, UK, and Australia, because I only have about 4 or 5 contacts in Germany.
Okay. My advice for you and to Cole then right now would be to literally put everything else on hold and just work through your lists. That and until you've got all the way through your list, that would be everything that I focused on. Still do your personal development, but still posting on your social media platforms, still doing what you need to do. But if you've got lists that big now, plow through them, and next to them, write down the date that you either called them or text them or emailed them with the information that you send them with a follow-up date, because even on a law of averages now, like you guys have both got lists big enough there for Master Seller, like multiple times over. So I would literally, until you've now gone from A to Z or gone right the way through your lists, I wouldn't even bother writing another person's name on that list yet until you've cleared it all. So
Okay.
that would be what I would focus on, literally until you've done it, really.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Cool. Last but not least then, Helen Pilmer, are you able to join us?
Yes, I am. I'm here. Hello. I'm trying to. Hi. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Good. Yes. Good. Thank you all. Yes. It's great hearing what everyone's been up to. So I've had quite a few meetings this week. I've had 6 meetings to talk about the business and also to talk about events. I'm revising my list, but I have got about 400 to 600 on it, as well as 1,200 LinkedIn connections. So I was quite pleased when you posted an example of a note that you've used on LinkedIn, because a bit like you, I have got people on there that I have just connected with and haven't developed a relationship with them first, but many of them are people that I've either worked with, have been clients of mine, or I knew many years ago. So it's an opportunity for me to reconnect with those, really. I've also been working on my GDPR list, which is obviously looming up in the next 3 weeks. So that's a bit of a priority. Obviously, it kind of goes hand in hand with the long list, but it needs tidying up. So I've actually got a copywriter that's going to write something for me, and I'm going to send it out to everyone on my list to see if that they will stay connected with me. So for anyone that doesn't know, GDPR is the General Data Protection Regulation, which means you have to, any personal data you have of anybody in the UK or in Europe, means that you have to make sure you store that data electronically, safely. So it's got to be password protected. And it also you also have to ask their permission if you can connect with them in the future. And you have to be very specific about what that connection or what that communication is going to be about. So it could be about wine tastings, it could be about promotional events, it could be about just general information about the wine business. But you have to ask people's permission before the 25th of May in order for you to connect with them post the 25th of May. I'm sure Beverly has gone through her own process in her other business, and Sian as well. Anyone that basically works in business will have been going through this process over the last few months. So it's quite important, really, especially if you've got a long list, and many of them are not personal friends as well. So that's what I've been up to.
Perfect. Right. So before I kind of continue, I was not going to do this call tonight, just because obviously our wedding anniversary yesterday. We was out all day yesterday. We've been out all day today, and then I'm around my mum and dad's tonight. So it was easier for me to kind of say that I wasn't going to do it. And I actually put a post in the group like this morning. Some of you, if you saw it, you saw it. But then as soon as I'd written it, I then watched back Anne Ralston's training that she's doing with us in the Pace Setters group. And so for those of you that don't know, myself and Raz are currently in a group of about, I think there's only about 30 to 35 people that are in this direct sellers pace setter group. And basically what it is that once a week we have to get on a phone call with Anne Ralston, and she sets us targets that we have to do. But what she said was the fact that you can't expect your business to be successful if you're not going to put the time and effort into it yourself. And you can't expect your team to do things that you're not going to do yourself, which, you know, we all know anyway. But I was watching that, and literally Tara come in the room and she was like, you got to do tonight's call. So Tara kind of gave me a bit of a kick up the arse and told me that I've got to do it. But, you know, it is that whole monkey see, monkey do thing. So that's the reason why I'm doing this tonight in like my niece's bedroom that's the size of a prison cell, basically. Because I don't want you thinking that, well, Paul can't be bothered to get on tonight. Paul's doing this tonight. Like, I don't need to get on tonight. Like, I'll get on every week unless I am like literally unavailable in the air, you know, 10 foot underground. I'll get on. Like, we're going to Barbados a week on Tuesday. I will be on this call on that Sunday. Like, I'm guaranteed, because this is too important for me not to be on the calls. Because it's, as I said, if I'm not on, then you're going to it's easy for you guys, especially when like it's tough or things are not going the way that you want it to be, for you guys to turn around and say, well, Paul's not going to get on, I don't need to be on, you know. And then a day turns into 2 days, and it turns into a few days, and it turns into a week, and it turns into a month, and then before we know it, like the 90 days over and we've not got anywhere. So I've spent all morning really going through like shaper contacts that I've had over the last few days. And I've written down every single person that I've spoken to, the date that I've sent them something, whether it's by email, the date that I've got a phone call booked with them, the date that I'm going to follow up with them. I've also written down every single person that I messaged on LinkedIn the other day with the date that I've sent them the message. And I'm doing that with everything now, because that people always say it, the fortune's in the follow-up. And everyone's guilty of this. Everybody is guilty of speaking to someone and forgetting about it, forgetting about following up, forgetting about when you spoke to them, forgetting about who you actually spoke to. So moving forward, every single person that you speak to, whether it's by email, by text, by phone, by letter, by whatever sort of form of social media, write down the date that you spoke to them and who you spoke to and the method in which you spoke to them with, and a follow-up date, and go back to your follow-up date. Or if you're using a diary, you put it straight in that date that you're going to follow up with them. Because the amount of times that I've gone back to people and followed up and they've gone, oh yeah, sorry, I haven't had a look at that, but I'm really interested. It is the fortunes in the follow-up. So tonight, I was on a call the other day with the Australians, and I don't know if any of you was on it, but I'm trying to get this guy to do a UK call with us as well. But he spoke about, he's similar to Ray Higdon, and he's similar to Danny Clark in the fact that he trains network marketers now. But what he does, he uses a point system, and we're going to start using this point system. So I think it's very easy and it's very simple for everyone to understand. So the 5 points, if you want to write these down, is the first one is your contact list, making contact with someone. And then if you just put put 1 point next to that, and then the second one, number 2, is invite people to take a look at what you have on offer. So you're basically showing someone the information. Or sorry, you're inviting them. So you're waiting for them to say to you, yes, I would like to have a look at that. Next to that, put 2. Number 3 is sharing the information. So if they come back to you and say, yes, I would like to have a look at that, you share the information. So that is number 3. And again, next to that, in brackets or whatever, put 3 points. Number 4 is follow up. And that's 4 points. And number 5 is enroll. So whether it's a customer or a business partner, and that is 5 points. So you can see that if you go through those 5 stages and you contact someone and you invite them to have a look at something, can you share the information, then you follow up with them and they like what they see and they want to enroll, you've got yourself 15 points. So what I want you guys to do from tomorrow is log everything. So if you contact someone, 1 point every single time all the way down. If you speak to someone and say to them, look, I've got some information I'd love to send you, or are you open to having a look at some information? And they say to you, yes, that's 2 points on top of the 1 point. If you then share the information, so if an email gets sent or you copy and paste something, that's 3 points. If you follow up at all with anyone, it's 4. And number 5, enrolling someone, is 5 points. Now, I'm not going to be on your back and checking with this. This is where like loyalty and honesty and trust and everything else comes into play. We're all in the same boat in the fact that we're working towards a 90-day run. So next week we'll check in, and rather than going around the group and saying what we've done and everything else, next week we'll just start off, right, what's your points? And that's it. So if someone comes on the call next week and says, right, I've got 90 odd points, but they've not brought a customer or a business partner in, then something's not working, so be true to yourself. If you get on next week and, 10 points, great. That 10 points may be 10 lots of 1 point. It may be a few 1s, it may be a couple of 2s, and it may be a 3. So this is where, again, it's so important to write these lists down of every single person that you're approaching, because you get yourself a point. As I said, there's going to be no prizes given out to the people with the most points because I can't track it. I don't know, like, if you're being honest with me or if you're being honest to yourselves. But this is what I want us to do moving forward, like every single week. I'll be doing the same as well. So from tomorrow, we'll use this point system. Now, a little challenge that we'll do for this week, for the second week, is we'll all aim to get at least one new customer in by Sunday. So that's what I want us to do. Like, I know this is a 90-day run and we're looking at business partners, but if you can get a business partner in, fantastic. But let's all try and get one new customer in by next Sunday, because guess what? If we can all do that, confidence is going to go up. posture's going to change. You know, you're going to start believing in yourself a little bit more. You're going to start thinking to yourself, do you know what, I can talk about this now. Like, I've got a customer in now, I'm going to take it to the next level, I'm going to go for a business partner. And the other thing is that for those people that have not got any business partners in yet, we're looking at 9 in 90 days. So on average, 1 in 10 days. Okay, so we're on day 7 today. Don't get tied up if you do not get your first business partner in by Wednesday. Don't think that you've failed because you've not got that first one in the first 10 days. Like, the first few weeks of this is about building yourselves up, building your confidence up, being able to go out there and speak to people and post in groups and have the conversations, and to do the things that, you know, you need to do to get you to where you need to be, basically. So let's look at getting one new customer in this week, like myself included, and let's aim to get, and I know Andrew and Shirley have done this for tomorrow as well, but what I want us to do is every person to get 2 people on the opportunity call. So I'll give you until a week. We'll work a week in advance with the opportunity calls because I know it's tomorrow. So if we can start for between now and next Sunday, everyone aims to get 1 new customer in. And then if we aim to get 2 new people on an opportunity call a week tomorrow. So not tomorrow. I know Andrew and Shirley, great job. You've got 2 people jumping on tomorrow, and we should be working to get people on these opportunity calls. But a week tomorrow, 2 people on the opportunity calls. In terms of the point system, we should be looking on average no less than 5 points a day. And that's for people that are really busy. For people like myself, who's got the time, I should be looking at 20 points plus a day, really. And again, if you want to take this to the level that you're going to take it, that's a kind of indication. Between 5 and 20 points is your buffer, really, of where you want to go with this. Use me for as many 3-way calls as you need to. Get me on as many calls as you want to get me on. Even if you want me to just, you know, touch base with you guys, we'll start the accountability calls tomorrow. So what I'll do is I'll text you. For those that have got calls booked in for tomorrow, I'll give you a text like tomorrow morning and find out what time suits you, and we'll have a good catch up. I mean, this week I've just wanted to use it to get you guys into it and just to see how it's going to work. But from tomorrow, every day I'm going to be posting something in the group. It'll either be a little bit of advice, it'll be a 2 or 3 minute live. But every day I'll be active in that group, because I want you guys to get as much information and take away as much information as you possibly can with this, because we've got something big on our hands with this now. You know, we really have. And I look at where this was last year, and I look at where this is now. And already I'm seeing people that left Direct Sellers to join another company that have now gone on and joined another company. Not going to name any names, but we're talking leadership here. So that's three companies that this one particular person's done in the last 6 months, and people that quit on themselves before we started the VIP program, before we started the Car Club program, before we started the Ambassador program, before we announced we was going to Germany, before we announced we was going to Australia. You know, I'm looking now at the leaders for Direct Sellers in the UK and to take this globally, or to take this throughout Europe. When they start opening countries in Europe, they're going to want master sellers from England to go and open the countries. They're not going to expect master sellers from Australia to keep flying backwards and forwards into Europe. They're looking at us to go and open these countries. So when they open the likes of France and Italy and Germany and Spain, you know, they're relying on us. So this is up to us here collectively. It's up to you guys that, you know, that see this opportunity to make a name for yourselves and to go and create that success that you deserve, that you need, that you want. And I'm excited. You know, I know I say this like all the time, but I am excited about it. There's a lot going on behind the scenes at the moment. These calls with Anne at 2 o'clock in the morning UK time. So I mean, I didn't get on the other one because it was just like I was, you know, rushing about. But this week I will be staying up 2 o'clock in the morning to get on that call, because this is how much it means to me. You know, I'm not expecting you guys to get up at a ridiculous time or to stay awake until a ridiculous time, because you don't need to do it. But if you guys are committed to working hard for 90 days, and I'm expecting you to get on these calls, and if you can't, at least let me know. Like, no one's told me tonight that they can't get on this call. So there's already people that have missed the first 2 calls that are already now like way behind. And if it means that I only work with 10, 11, 12 people, then so be it, because then I know that the people that are interested in doing this are the people that actually do want to go out there and make it happen. So finished a little bit earlier tonight, but to be honest, it's probably longer than what I thought we would do tonight. But next week, as I said, we'll start the call up and it will just be a points tally. That's all I want, points tally, and I'll go straight into the training and straight into working, because I do want to use these times, and I said this last week, I do want to use these hours or this time to work, where we all work together, where we can write lists, where we can, you know, write scripts, where we can work on ourselves, whether it's changing a social media platform or a profile, whether it's setting templates up, whether it's how to navigate around a certain bit, whether it's, you know, role playing and scripting and posture and, you know, talking between ourselves on what you would say on a phone call, or if you meet someone in the street or whatever else like that. So, as I said, every week these calls are going to be recorded, but that doesn't mean to say that, you know, on a Sunday night you want to go down the pub and have a drink and whatever. It don't matter. Paul's recording these calls. As I said, like I've been out like all day. I've been with family all day. Like my family are downstairs now, but this is too important to me. I want this to succeed, and I want you guys to succeed as well. Like, if you're putting the time and effort into this for you guys to be successful, then I owe it to you to be on these calls every week. So, as I said, appreciate you guys jumping on. I know it's been like a very, very like hot day, hence why I look a bit like a beetroot tonight, but this room is boiling, and we've got bank holiday tomorrow as well. So enjoy, if you're off tomorrow, enjoy the weather tomorrow. I am about, as always. So if anyone needs to catch up, if anyone wants to catch up, then just let me know. But I'll get the recording up in the group at some point tonight for you guys to watch it back if you need to, and then to get it out there. But as I said, I'll get hold of everyone that's got a call scheduled tomorrow, and then we'll go from there. So enjoy the rest of your evening, guys. Have a great week, and I'll touch base with you during the week.
Cheers, Paul.
Guys.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye.